Hello, I am Mal, and welcome back to Malbase 2 here on Planetbase. Yep, this is the second episode of this second season of Planetbase, and I'm trying to utilize all of the great information, ideas, and advice that I received from the community members from the first season. So I'm enjoying myself. I like what I'm seeing here, the start of the new base. Now, I did let a little bit of time elapse between the two episodes just so I would build up a little bit of resources, and you can see our status has already improved to good. Now, this factors in a couple different ways if you're not familiar with Planetbase. Probably the biggest impact is that if the overall status is good or very good or excellent, your people are going to work faster, they're going to be more efficient. The other piece is that you're not going to get any colonists to come live at your base if your base is, what's the technical term? Sucks, right. So if your base is sucky, nobody's going to want to come visit and no one's going to want to come live there, which makes sense, right? So, but we're in good status. We do have enough metal right now to build a landing pad. So that's probably the biggest thing we need to get accomplished in this episode. So we're going to go ahead and get that right now, if I can find it. There it is. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot where we put it, because eventually we're going to change our setup where you'll touch down on the landing pad, you'll go through an airlock, and then you'll move through a control center. And the control center is important for a couple of reasons. One, it's where various different stations are set up, like security stations. Your guards hang out there. So once we get visitors, it's important that they pass through there for security reasons. It's the best way to set it up. The other reason you want to get a control center is so that you get access to security controls. So like we're going to get sandstorms and other kind of events that happen, and being able to activate yellow alert to tell people to run back inside is a good thing. Or if there is an incident with visitors later on and some of them are criminals or whatever, we want to do red alert, so we tell everybody to basically, get to safety and or fight depending on what their role is. But we'll get to all that. I just wanted to let you know that this landing pad we're going to put in here ultimately is not going to be the setup that we stay with. This is just so that we can get things rolling. All right, let's go ahead and speed things up. The other thing I'm going to do in this series versus my first attempt with Malbase 1 is that I'm just going to be a little bit more conservative in how quickly I expand the base. It would appear that with Planetbase, slow and steady, like most things in life, slow and steady is going to win the race. So we're not gonna rapidly rush too forward, I don't think. Take our time. We're gonna take our time. Okay, so let's slow down again. Landing permissions. So right now it's set up to allow colonists as well as trading ships. You can set that over here. This is the target for specializations. Right now I don't need any guards, so I'll leave that at 0. And here's our current distribution. I'm fine with this. Matter of fact, we can take medic down to 5%, and we can increase here. We could do something like that for now. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll talk about that a little bit. So first off, let's talk about these icons. What does this mean? Well, if it's got a yellow wrench over it, it means it needs some kind of a maintenance. Like for instance, right now, this particular lettuce pad is in good status, and you can see that the condition's dropping. Now it's decent, and it needs to be maintained by a biologist. Okay, different functions require different specializations. Okay, hold on, we got our first colonist ship coming in here. What did they give us? Oh, expansion reached, yep. So we got an engineer, we got a worker. What are you? What are you? Biologist, maybe? Yes, biologist. Okay. So they all have different functions. So you've got an engineer, they build and repair things. You've got a worker, which does a lot of different things. They man different stations, like in the factory. They do the mining until you have driller bots later on, and then they take over that duty. Medics obviously tend to people's wounds. In addition to that, they also make medical supplies. So every station is going to ask for someone different. Okay, so like for instance right here, this metal processor requires a worker. This bioplastic processor requires a worker. Later on, there'll be stations like in the control center that will require an engineer, like to operate an observatory. The food requires biologists. So you have to have a decent mix of it. You know, you can't, one type of colonist obviously won't get it done. So just something to bear in mind. Okay, let's see. Let's check our status. We're at excellent status now. That's nice. We got 10 people. Very good. And then the bots that we have are just the ones that we got initially, which is a carrier bot and a constructor bot. Driller bots and constructor bots, you have to get the patents. There's different techs that you can acquire during the game. Right here. So giant structures, you can also get, you know, that's basically all it is. It's just increased size and efficiency. And then you can get the constructor bot patent, you can get a driller bot patent, and then you can get these nice things that I've never gotten, the genetically modified tomato and genetically modified onion. I guess they're like much better, but I've never been able to afford them. You get these by trading with various traders that'll come by, and you'll see that in probably this episode. I would imagine a tradership will stop by. I'm very stingy. They have various levels of commission starting as low as 35% up to like 65%. Generally speaking, commission rates of 40 or below, I will trade with them if I need something. Otherwise, they can tell their story walking because, like I said, I'm cheap. Let's see. Okay, we're looking good there. Power grid is fine. What kind of drain are we getting here? We're almost to daylight. We're getting a little bit of power in from our large wind turbine. But we could probably stand to put another power collector in, actually, before we expand too much more. Yeah. Speaking of, let's go ahead and put another processor right there for bioplastic. Oh, here we go. Speaking of trader ships, let's see what this guy's got for us. We can't really afford anything right now, so I guess it doesn't matter a whole lot. So you click on him. What's your rate? 55%. Okay, so I don't want anything from you, so goodbye. You may leave. This is really cool. Well, I guess our power is actually still holding steady. Go ahead and make a connection here. I'd like them to be able to cross back and forth from the processing plant to the storage, just for efficiency purposes. This is a much, much better layout than my first base. Yeah, like redonkulous levels of better layout. People still say that, right? Redonkulous? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's speed this up. Okay, pretty happy with this so far. Now, the other thing that we wanted to take care of, yeah, we're going to need more storage. All right, let's slow it down then again. Got some more colonists? Okay, great. What did we get? Got an engineer, got a biologist, and a worker. Okay, good. So what's our distribution looking like? Oh, okay, sandstorm. Now, we don't have, see it says hint, security controls. We don't have a control center yet, so because of that, people are gonna get caught outside because they're not bright enough to see that there's like a massive swirling dust bowl out there. So we're just gonna have to wait. There's nothing I can do. Now this is kind of problematic because this dust storm is covering up, or sandstorm is covering up the solar panel. So we're getting wind, which is good, but we're not getting much or as much as we could get from the solar panel. Yeah. Generating zero. Oh, generating zero. Yeah, that's bad. We are generating 50 out of 50 on the wind turbine, though. I don't think we're going to have enough. If this doesn't clear up, we're going to have problems, because we need this thing full before nighttime. And I don't want to send anybody out there to build another wind turbine in the sandstorm. See these guys right here? Look, they're having a hard time. Go, Darius! Get back inside, buddy! Get back inside! Go, constructor bot. Get in there. Go, guys. Go. Hopefully that clears up soon. Wow, that almost hit our wind turbine. That would have been, like, catastrophic if that happened right now. Stupid asteroids. Stay away. Are you... Oh, okay. It's generating power again. Okay, good. That power collector fills up before nightfall. We should be able to make it through the night. Yeah, I'm not going to build anything else, though. This is the kind of thing I didn't do in my first... with my first base. I was just like, oh, I'll just keep building, and then... then I ended up having some bad things happen. Okay, so we're about to hit nightfall. Wind is dying down a little bit, but we've got a full power collector. Should be able to carry us through the night. And then we're going to need to build... Probably want to go for a lab next so that we can get some Viro meat going. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, where could we put that? We could put it... Well, I mean, we could do... You'd sort of keep, like, the food thing going and put it over here. So the food is near each other? We could do that, or we could put it over here. That would be okay too, I think. Actually, I kind of like this idea of putting it over here, because what we could do is we could build a lab here and attach it to storage, and then maybe put a sick bay or whatever it's called. Hold on, let's see, what's it called? Yeah, it is called sick bay. We could put a sick bay here, because sick bay kind of like the dorms. If it's got that little T symbol down there below the resources, then you know that it's a dead end. So what we could do is put a lab here, and then put a sick bay like right over here, and it would kind of dead end. Which is fine. This, you know, it's gonna have to be somewhere, so it might as well go there. Power storage is low. How low? Very low. We might depower here for just a second. Yeah, we are. Power down. It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be back online in just a second. And once it is, we'll put some more power in. Actually, we don't even need more power. What we need is another power collector. Yeah, that's what we need. So we're just going to go ahead and put another one in. How many resources do we have? Do we have enough? We don't really have enough for a large collector, but we could do a medium. So let's do that. We got some more colonists. 764. Okay, let's reset that to standard. We'll let that roll like that for a little bit. Okay, and then over here, we're going to put in tissue synthesizers. And we're going to start with 3 of those. Power collector's done. Okay, so this one's filling up. How are we on daylight? Oh, we're not great. It's not even gonna fill up. We're gonna... Oh no, that's not good. Alright, well... the only thing I can think of is to build some more wind, but we don't really have the resources for it. Alright, this is what we'll do. We're gonna temporarily disable the mine. And we're gonna turn off the colonists. We're not gonna bring any more in for just a minute until we stabilize again. By turning this off, our drain goes down significantly. So we're gonna shut that off. And we really can't shut anything else. Well, just taking any power, that is. Okay, so let's shut that off too. There we go. we'll just conserve power for just a minute. We don't need the landing pad if we're not bringing in anybody. We're actually in a positive charge state right now. That's pretty nice. Must be getting some good wind. Yeah, we are. Water's fine. Oxygen's fine. Okay, we're okay. Potential disaster averted. Yes. And what's our status? Is good. Creeping up on very good. Or welfare, whatever you want to call it. The more colonists you add, obviously, can drain out the morale a bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, how are we on resources? We're good. And power back on. Power back on. And speaking of power, let's get ourselves another big solar collector. I like that idea. Can I move it in closer? I can. I can put one in right here. That seems fine. You want the bigger stuff close. For maintenance purposes, you don't want them walking all over the place for it. That's something else I learned the hard way. So, like, it's tempting to just take all of your utility kind of stuff and just run it in a line and go along here, and I will do some of that, but you need to build some structures in close so that they can be quickly maintained. Speaking of maintained, we've got to get a factory up pretty soon here so that we can build spares. Those are critically important. And we're starting to run low. Okay, so chicken. Let's set you on beef, and let's set you on pork, so we've got 3 kinds. We'll be combining that with the wheat over here to make burgers. Yes! A great suggestion that I had from someone. Operated by biologist. This is pretty nice. They don't have to go very far. The other work zone is there. The dorm is here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this so far. Okay, speaking of the dorm, let's put in a couple more places to sleep. How many total do we have? 19? Okay. Go ahead and let the colonists back in. I think we're alright. Alright, and then the plan was to put a... whatchamacallit over here? Sick bay? So I could tuck it in right here like a little tiny sick bay. Or I could move out here and make a bigger one. I think I'm just going to tuck it in over here and then we can continue building that way. Yeah, I don't need like some major sick bay right now. Okay, getting some maintenance here. Now the question is, where's the factory gonna go? Right over here, maybe? Trade ship, what do you got for me? 65% commission. Well, you've got nothing for me then. Goodbye. I don't care what you have. Get a factory. We could put a factory here, and then if we end up putting an airlock over here with some additional mines at some point, that would be okay, I guess. Yeah, that works. We'll put the factory over there. I think that's okay. It's a little far from this mine, but we're thinking Futurescape eventually we'll have mines probably around this thing over here. Yeah. And we're going to need another airlock. Actually, I'd like to have a control center. So maybe we should do like a control center like here and an airlock over here somewhere. Then we can build another landing pad or something up over on that end. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, the sick bay's done. Let's see. Let's put a bed in there. And since we have that now, Probably be a good idea if we had a medicinal pad over here for medical supplies. Yep, so we can do that, like, right there. Put in a couple of medicinal pads. And we might as well go ahead and put the medical storage in. Little locker that holds medical supplies locally. Instead of it being in storage, they hold a few right there in the med bay. Which makes sense, right? Oh, some more colonists coming in. What are we up to here? Yeah, manufacturing limits. Yep, okay. Let's slow this down a little bit. Go over to the factory. We'll look at manufacturing limits in just a second. I'll explain that. So let's get a spare. Yep, spares workshop. And I think that's it actually right now. So you've got spares workshop, which obviously we need for repairs. You've got semiconductor, which is to build more advanced units, and then an arms workshop to build guns. I'm not going to concern myself with a semiconductor foundry or an arms workshop right now. No, we're just going to focus on getting kind of a stockpile of spares. So let's take a look at manufacturing limits. Medical supplies, this is all set to infinite right now, which is fine because we don't have the ability to build bots or guns, so it doesn't matter what it's set to. But you do need to be mindful, and this was another lesson that I learned the hard way. You need to be mindful of what resources, raw resources, are being taken to make things like semiconductors or bots or spares or what have you. Because what if you really, really need spares? Like you're desperate in need of them, and you don't have them because all of your raw resources are going to, say, build bots or guns or what have you. So just be careful how you set it. You know, right now I can leave this all at infinite because I don't have those other structures built, but eventually you're going to want to, you know, ratchet these down. Okay, well, I think we're going to go ahead and end this one here, and now in the next episode, we'll build up. I'm going to probably in between episodes just let this run a little bit so we get some resources, and in particular, hopefully build up some spares. But I think we need to address our morale. Well, we're at excellent, but that could fall off pretty easily. I think we're probably going to put in a bar or maybe a multi-dome where we can put out some exercise gear and stuff for folks. Just kind of improve things a little bit for them. It looks like we're holding steady on food, so that's not really an issue. I think we can continue expansion in terms of bringing in more colonists. But a multi-dome, I think, is due, and we're going to need another oxygen generator also. Yeah, back up over here probably. And then we're going to need another dorm as well at some point. Yeah, but we're in good shape. Malbase 2 is coming along, I think, pretty well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. And I do continue to appreciate all of that feedback that you guys give me. And until next time, I am Mal, and I will see you later.